Hi there, and welcome to the live drawing party. It's Friday, April 10th, in fact, and today, as is our new tradition, it's a tradition in the sense that this is the second time that we're going to be doing it, we are going to draw self-portraits. So hopefully you have yourself, you have a pen, you have some paper, perhaps you have a mirror. Failing that, perhaps you have a phone with a camera, perhaps you have a really good memory. Whatever it is, you need to have some vague recollection of what you look like, particularly today, because part of what we want to do when we draw self-portraits is to capture how we feel right now, how we are, who we are today. Um, who are you today? Are you Timmy Carapides, or are you my old pal Robert Spinola? Nice to see you, Robert. Um, Francine's World in Rocky View County, Andrea Nam in Maryland, Catalina, who's excited about Easter. Easter is, of course, this weekend, as is Passover. Um, Hello again, Thistle. Thank you for joining me again today. Cynthia's excited about drawing a selfie. Darren and Esther, Jason, Lisa, Laura, and Steve, and many other people are here from all around the world, bringing their faces to uh, to bear witness to the moment and to be captured once and for all. I want to tell you a couple things that I'm excited about. So, as you may know, I have been griping about the fact that I don't really have any art supplies with me. Why? Because I had to flee my home like a refugee skulking through the night to go on a mini vacation that turned into exile here in well, the beauty that is Phoenix, Arizona. But I came with a couple of fountain pens, a couple of markers, um, my iPad, and I managed to cadge a few ancient colored pencils and a couple of highlight markers from the relatives that we were staying with. However, a few days ago on the schoolyard, which, if you don't know, is the social network for sketchbook school, I was contacted by a fellow Phoenix dweller. And she wrote to me and she said, I hear that you have no art supplies. I live in Phoenix. I have a lot of art supplies. Can I bring you some? And I said, that would be amazing, but I feel terrible even accepting your offer. She insisted. And yesterday, Slavisa drove up to my house and, maintaining a respectable distance, left me with a giant bag, which I have right here. I'm about to show you. Let me show you. Let me just see if I can get over there and show you what that looks like. All right. So here, looking into this bag, and I'm going to unpack it, unbox it, and show you all the things that she gave me. So here is a note that says, I hope this helps you get through the next couple of weeks as we all stay home together. Slavina. I mean, come on, how nice. And look, let me unpack this and bring things out and show them to you one by one. So first of all, a bundle. Here, a bundle. Let me zoom in on this a second. How do I do this? Yes, move closer. Of course, I'm going to move closer. Sorry for this. Let me just lower this. Okay. So here we go. A stack of beautiful kinds of paper. And again, a note that says, I've taken extra measures for your safety. I sanitized everything that I could with a disinfecting wipe. I even wore gloves and a mask as I filled the watercolor pans. Exciting, watercolor pans. And in fact, she was wearing gloves when she came over, even though she stood at the very end of my driveway. Then there's this exciting box. It doesn't contain Nikes, but it will help me to just do it. What do we have inside here? Look, this is some kind of a saucer from Cafe de Colombia that I can use to mix watercolors, and a little teacup. So I don't know, maybe I can just have a cup of coffee in that. If I had some coffee, which I may be getting soon, but that's another story. I don't think there's any coffee in here. Um, what else? Ooh, look at that. A big, juicy mason jar filled with India ink. That is very exciting. And what else have we here? Some interesting markers, the likes of which I've never seen before. These are called chalk markers. And some interesting colors. Actually, they're orchid colors, so maybe I can draw that orchid again with chalk markers. Or maybe I can draw on the sidewalk. Interesting. This, look at this. It says here, I'm sorry about the watercolor tin. It was the only thing I had on hand that accommodated the pans. I threw in the cup and saucer so you'd have some kind of mixing palette and water container. In case you don't already know this, do not travel with M. Graham Cobalt Teal. Big mess. I didn't know that. All right, so this seems to be a box with all these different M. Graham things. And M. Graham, I usually am a Winsor Newton man, so this will be interesting to branch. I do have a few M. Grahams. I'm not going to unpack this right now, but this tin looks very inviting. All right, what else do we have here? Some paper. Aha. A box of water-soluble oil pastels. Again, something I have never played with, particularly water-soluble ones. I've really never tried those out, so that'll be interesting. What else? Derwent pastel pencils. So clearly we see that Selfies is a pastel person, pastelophile, which will be interesting to try out. This seems to be a little scrap of watercolor paper. Ooh, it's very thick. That's very nice. And then the Faber-Castell bag. Ooh, what's in here? Oh, yes. Look at that. A water brush and another brush and another different water brush. I'm getting chills, literally, and it's not just because there's a light breeze blowing. Micron, an 03, which is a great size. Another brush. What else? Oh, interesting. A white crayon. Okay. And here we have, a Posca, a nice Posca, too. A nice yellow color. I love that. Yeah, that's a good color. Oh, sorry. And here we have another Micron 3. 3 is a very good size. I really like 3. Oh, a dip pen. Tell me there's some nibs in here. I bet you that's what these are. Yes, some nibs. Oh my God. Guys, a dip pen and an eraser. And this seems to be some, like a Conte crayon and a stump for color penciling or for pastels probably. So, wow. Wow. Can you believe that? I mean, that is just mind-blowing. That is so nice, and I can't wait. This weekend, I said to my wife this morning, what do you want to do this weekend? And she just laughed at me. So I know what I'm going to be doing. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Oh, wait, there's more. Also here, a towel. It says, why a rag? India ink. Need I say more? Love that. Oh, and then some Yupo paper, too. I don't know if you know Yupo paper, but what it is it's very, very smooth and slick, but you can watercolor on it. In fact, that's what it's designed for. Mixed medium watercoloring. So that will be interesting. What else is it you can use? Alcohol ink, pen and ink, airbrush, acrylic, collage, and pencil. Yeah, so this is going to be a time of experimentation, of mind-blowing expansion. Okay, great. Super. Now, as if that wasn't enough, I present you with this. She was not in the bag, but she is in Amsterdam. Kosha, are you are you ready
Hi, you
to?
cut out.
Oh, I did?
Yes, but I can hear you again.
Okay, good.
All right.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How are
Hi.
things going? Sorry to just jump in on you like that.
That's okay. I was just waiting, like, when do I hear him again? But I was also watching your unpacking video, and oh man, that was entertaining and
Oh my God,
so sweet that she
so
brought
nice,
that all to you.
so nice. Yeah, I mean,
Amazing. I mean, just the joy about you finding that dip pen, that was just invaluable. I love that.
but
Yeah.
also it's like I think I'm gonna like it here in Phoenix, right? People like that as my neighbors. I mean, she's not even my neighbor. She actually lives like 45 minutes away, and she drove over here. But
Wow.
and I said to her, please don't bother, don't. And she said, I'm just looking for an excuse to get out of the house. I have four kids. I said, okay, fine, then come right over. But yes, that was so nice, so
Oh,
nice. So yes. So Kosha, how are you? How are things?
I am doing well, considering everything. Uh,
What?
I
What do you
mean,
mean by that? You mean by the fact that
I
I
have
didn't
no
have enough art
idea.
supplies? You were worried about that, I know. But
I
don't
was
worry about
really
it. No.
worried. I was really worried. No, that's true. I'm actually drawing a lot. I
I
mean,
see
it
that on
is
Instagram. Yeah.
yeah, it is selfie day, but my sketchbook is currently filled with sketches of my surroundings, my apartment, small bits and pieces, bigger views, and I really enjoy doing that actually. And yeah, in the meantime, my husband and I are just kind of happily moving around each other in the house and working on our own stuff, and we have enough space as well, so we're quite lucky. Yeah,
So
so
your husband
doing well.
is on the side, besides his regular job, he is an amazing musician. So is he making lots of music these days? Is he working with his band, in fact?
Yeah, well, yeah. So usually they have like 40 gigs a year or something. So the weekends are always filled with fun stuff, which is all canceled. So what they started to do, and they were already working on their own songs, but they started to just send each other bits and pieces of songs they are making, and then they try to glue it all together and actually just, each on their own, they are just perfecting things, which is a really fantastic process to see also, because they're taking their time for it, and then with music it needs to percolate for a while, and then suddenly there's like, oh no, wait, it doesn't need banjo, it needs mandolin, and then suddenly there's this beautiful part in that really makes the song like do its thing. It's interesting. It's a really interesting process.
That's interesting. Yeah. So they're not playing on Zoom or doing anything like that, though. No. Okay.
No, they're not.
So
No.
Kosha, you've also been busy getting ready for our new workshop. Um,
Yes.
Kosha's Killer Sketchbook Filler, which
That's
it's an
it.
exciting name, and we're all looking forward to it. So tell us a bit about what this is going to be like, because it's pretty cool.
It's going to be so much fun because I think it's a mixture between Draw Tip Tuesday to the max and Draw with Me's and the types of things that I'm doing now every day on Instagram, which is a 15-minute to 20-minute draw together thing with a certain technique that we zoom into, or a certain theme, or an idea. And this workshop is all about idea starters. So we will be filling 50 pages with prompts, ideas. It will be as we are going through the workshop. You are actually building your own workbook that you can get back to again and again, and that you can also fill. So we'll write down prompts. Some of the prompts we will actually be doing, and then I'll explain about the technique, and we'll draw together. But a lot of the prompts will be there for you to later fill in those pages, and of course fill the rest of the sketchbook. And it'll be a guide for your creativity forever because you can get back to it again and again. And it'll be really fun. It will be high paced, but there will be enough breathing space as well.
So 50 pages. So it's like a 7-day workshop, is it? Or a 50-day workshop?
Yeah, one
How do you,
page a day.
how long is it going to take to do 50 pages? That seems crazy.
It's a 2 hour workshop, so
Okay.
it is fast paced. But of course, we are writing a lot because we're writing down the prompts, but we're also drawing a lot. And it's hard to squeeze it all in, but I timed it. We can do it.
Excellent. So this is going to
And there
be
will be a Q&A.
so this is going to be 2 weeks from tomorrow, April 25th. And it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be you can sign up for it at sketchbooktool.com. There's a workshop section where you can sign up today. Um, it is all going to be online, of course, and it's a combination of live and videos that you've made to sort of take people through the experience. But you and I are both going to be there
Mm-hmm.
live through the whole thing, and then at the end, you're going to be answering questions for people. So if people are have if 50 ideas isn't enough for them and they need to talk to you even about even more stuff, you'll be there. I'll be sort of beating back the crowds to make sure that everything gets answered. And it's going to be, I don't know, if it's been like the last two workshops, it's going to be an amazingly fun time. And this one seems like, some people have said, well, I want to make sure that I get to do some stuff during these workshops. And it sounds like it's going to be insane. But also, what I love about this idea is you're making something that is going to last you for possibly years afterwards, right? That you're going to have all these
Yeah.
ideas that you can come back to. So we all always talk about the dreaded sort of anxiety and fear of the blank page, like, oh no, what am I going to draw today? And you're going to be helping people to overcome that, which is amazing. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay, so get over there, sign up, and join us. You have a couple weeks to do it, but make a date with yourself. I think that's the cool thing. It's like you put this on your calendar. You have something to look forward to for the next 2 weeks, and you can tell everybody else
But
who's
you'll
in
have
your
a date with us.
and date with us. It's true. And
Yeah.
everybody who is in your house, you can say to them, "Give me this corner of the house for 2 hours," or join me. There's no reason that you couldn't have the whole crew gathered around the hearth
Absolutely.
watching Kosha together. And we're going to send you all kinds of information. Once you sign up, I'm sure you already have questions. Once you sign up, you're going to get a bunch of emails that are going to explain what you need, how it's going to work, where you need to go. All that stuff will be self-explanatory. I mean, it will be explained to you. And there we go. So, Kosha, to change subject again, let's talk about selfies because like me,
Yeah.
you love to draw self-portraits. And
Yes.
are there any self-portraits that you've drawn recently that you could share with us so we could see where you're at with that?
Are there any what?
Self-portraits that you've drawn that you could
Can you
maybe
repeat
hold up?
that?
Are there any self-portraits that you could hold up to the
Show.
camera? Yes. Yeah.
So these are two selfies that actually quite hate. I think they're a little bit scary, but well, they are versions of me, I think. But I actually found a lot of selfies on my iPad that I did over the months. This is a selfie that can you see it?
It is. It's a little glaring. Can you just angle it
Oh,
a bit because the middle? Yeah, it's just there. We go. That's good. That's it. Yeah,
like
good.
that.
Yeah, you're.
So I think this is one of the first drawings I did on this iPad. And I tried to do something with
Oh,
what's
I
that
like that.
called? A texture and stuff. Used
Right.
a photo. I had no idea what I was doing because I didn't take your class yet. Um,
You should sign up for it. It's called Be an iPad Artist, and I think you'll learn a lot.
I
Not that
have
you aren't
signed up
not
for
that
it
you aren't great.
later
Not that you
on.
aren't great at it though. Love these.
No, but I learned so much from it. So much.
It's so nice. It's so nice
This
to see your face right next to your self portraits too.
I like this one,
Yeah, that is great.
and I think this is a scary portrait. That's what I wrote down as well.
I don't know if it's
Um, with a fresh haircut, with red lipstick, which I never wear. I wore it twice, I think.
that doesn't really look like you because
um,
of those lips. Yeah.
yeah, this is actually also a selfie, but a what I wore today page. Kind of a fun outfit.
Yeah.
This is the first selfie I did in the iPad course, and I learned so much here because I don't know if you can see it, but I even made freckles with the
Yeah.
I don't remember which brush, but that was really fun.
That's really nice.
Um,
I think. So are you using
oh,
the
this is also a selfie.
that looks
I
like one of
like
my
that one too.
selfies. That's really
This is
nice
a
too.
serious selfie.
And you're writing in it too. So are
Yeah.
you using the iPad now as much as you use your paper sketchbook?
No, I often grab my paper sketchbook. I don't know really what the reason is, but that's just my go-to. And then as soon as I grab my iPad, I'm like, oh man, this is so much fun. But I have it really feels like a completely different experience. Um, it feels more like illustrating when I'm working on the iPad.
Oh, really? Hmm.
And I really like working on the iPad in the evening when there's not enough light for working
Right.
in my sketchbook. Then you can still do it on the iPad. So, yeah, so I do use it quite regularly, and I really enjoy it. And I have to say that your course really made such a difference. It made me so much more confident about what you can do. It's just if you learn techniques and ways to do things, then you just feel that it a little bit more bold and daring and
Right.
stuff like that.
No,
So
absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
it took me a couple years to learn the stuff that I put in there, and I still learn new stuff every day. It's just an endlessly interesting medium.
yeah, sure.
So let's get
Hmm.
on with it. Let's start drawing some stuff. You're going to readjust your camera meanwhile. Um,
Yeah, I'll mute myself because that will make
okay.
I'll do that.
Okay. So I am going to let me just see if I have this oriented correctly. Do I? I'm just trying to make sure that is up. It's not. Okay. Let me turn this around. My iPad, I set it up so that it was locked, and that sometimes makes it seem. There we go. Okay. So, yes, now it's correct. Okay, Kosha, are you ready? Kosha's still, she's, okay, she's readjusting her camera. Here we go. There's a wire. That's encouraging. All right, so guys, everybody, let's start drawing ourselves. Don't hesitate. Don't tell me you look awful. Don't tell me you can't draw. Don't tell me didn't do your dog ate your homework. Let us just draw however even if we feel kind of weird and insecure, let's capture that. I'm trying to think of how I feel today. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the order I drew last week. It was kind of interesting, kind of terrifying. But let me see. For some reason, I'm going here. I'm going to this place. Um, I'm not sure why I'm green today, but I am. I might become a
What
different
are you
color.
using? I can't.
I'm using my iPad,
Oh, okay.
even though I
You're
got
not
that
using
giant.
your new pastels.
I mean, I just unpacked them, so you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, when you go to the store and you pick out a pair of pants and you go and put it on the changing room, and then you step out of the changing room to look in the mirror at how you look. And you
Mm.
don't necessarily want several hundred people watching you when you do that. So I kind of am at that
Yep.
mode, just like, well, let
I
me let me
totally
let me
understand.
let me just see how that goes before I commit to it. Particularly trying a new medium. I mean, please. Pastel. What do you think about pastels? Do you ever use them?
Never,
Never.
ever. Because, yeah, no, I really never do. I do have a really nice set that used to be my granddad's, and apparently he used it a lot. But it's too messy for me, I think. I just don't really know what to do with it, basically. That's the whole reason, of course. But also in a sketchbook, it gets messy and it's hard to, I think, I don't know.
Who
I don't know.
knows?
Have you used it ever?
Who knows? In a month or two, I might be teaching a course on pastels.
Yeah. I think there were some people actually asking about that lately
Yeah, I'm
in the
not sure. I'm
community.
not sure that's going to happen. But
No.
who do you think of when you think of pastels? What artists do you think of? There's only two that come to my mind.
Um, I don't know actually.
I think
On
of
top of my mind.
Renoir. I think of Renoir, and
Hmm.
I think Toulouse-Lautrec.
Oh yeah?
I think he was. I think he was an occasional pastel user. I think it might have been like a really big medium um, in the kind of 1890s. Maybe they just started commercializing it around then. So I want to ask you more about that business of if I mean, do you mind talking while you're drawing?
No,
Um,
that's okay. I do it every day
that's true.
on Instagram,
It's true. But
trying to stumble through the whole thing.
do you feel like it is? You said this thing about feeling like the iPad is more feels more like illustration. Can you tell me a bit more
Yeah.
about what that means?
Yeah. It's hard to explain.
Do you feel like it's more, does it feel more slick?
No, I think it's because no, not necessarily slick. I think because it's more layered. Because of the layers, maybe you can plan and you can change things, and it's a different process. I mean, if I use a brush pen like this, I'll just have to go with whatever is on the paper, and it's not because of the erasing, but it's because of so many things you can add and change during the process. So the whole process is so different, and that feels more like illustrating. I don't know if that's right or if it's the right word, but by a lack of a better description,
Hmm.
um, that's how I sort of experience it.
I think it's interesting. I mean,
I mean, what I do with my sketchbook is really, it is my visual journal, and I don't do that with my iPad at all. I do make drawings, but it's not like a daily thing of journaling kind of thing. It's less immediate. Maybe that's it.
that's immediate. It's interesting. Because I feel like for me, the iPad, in some ways, I'm looser and doodlier, which is strange. I mean, maybe this like
Mm-hmm.
because I'm kind of not gonna be stuck with it somehow. I can like if I'm not, it's not like, oh no, I'm gonna have this page now stuck
No, I
in my
messed it
work.
up. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that makes it a little bit different. Um, but it's also, I mean, I think bringing in photographic elements like I'm doing right now definitely does change your relationship to it because it can make it seem a little collagey and artificial sometimes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what else can I say about it that's different? I mean, I at one point was trying to like write on my drawings. I noticed that you did that a couple times, and
Mm-hmm.
I I really did not like that. That was not
Why not?
just I don't know. I just didn't like the quality of the writing, and it just didn't feel like it just didn't it didn't give me the thrill that combining drawing. I mean, I just love it when you have drawing and writing next to each other, and that just for some reason doesn't work for me at all on the iPad.
Right.
But I have seen other people do it, and it's great. So it is
Right,
possible.
right. I think it's also what you're used to, you know. I think you have been writing with dip pen for so many years and with fountain pen, stuff like that. I think you're just, you know, it's not just getting used to it, but that's just the best feeling
Right.
somehow. Could that be it?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I think I also haven't done really enough work on my calligraphy on the iPad. So
Hmm.
that could be part of what it
Hmm.
is too. Um,
Yeah, I actually like writing on the iPad because it's so um, that is can be really clean, and that I like that. I don't know.
yeah,
It's a
it
strange
feels
combination
nice
of
too.
things.
It feels nice.
It
Yeah.
it does, yeah, and that's interesting because all the time I didn't get that iPad. I was like, I'm not going to like it because it will feel weird drawing on glass, but it actually really feels good.
Right.
It's interesting. So I have drawn a gigantic ear.
Hey, it does look like a rather large ear. Can you cover up for it
Trying to
somehow?
fix it. I'm trying to, yeah, I have just fixed it a little bit by
See?
adding the hair behind it.
If
That is
only you were
actually
on the
getting quite
iPad.
long. Exactly, I would just do the thing, double tap or whatever it is.
Okay, this is fun. All right, I have no idea why I made this look the way I did, but I did, and there you have it.
Do you need a reason?
Absolutely. You know how vicious commenters can be on YouTube. Start saying, "What the hell were you doing? What, I need a, I need an
What were you
explanation.
thinking?
I need an explanation for
Yeah.
this. This is not adequate. And why aren't you explaining exactly what you're doing while you're doing it? That's really annoying." But yeah. So what are you doing this weekend? Any exciting plans?
Um, no, I don't really have any exciting plans actually, and I like that. I think a nice brisk walk through the neighborhood.
Hmm. That's
I mean,
nice.
I saw people post some uh, pictures of the center of the city, and it's dead, and it's so weird to see.
Yeah.
Like, Dam Square is um, there's no one there. While usually there's crowds and crowds of people.
Right.
Now there's nobody there. It's strange to see those pictures, but I don't want to go there. I just want to do a little run or do a little walk, and I will do a lot of drawing. What about you?
Um,
Explore the neighborhood?
we did a little bit of that yesterday, and we actually met one
Nice,
of our neighbors and said hi to her. And
nice.
yeah, we did. We drove around a bit, and we finally got a food delivery yesterday. So we actually have food, and I think I'm getting some tea bags today. So I'm going to
Oh,
spend.
good.
I think I'm going to spend the weekend just drinking tea, guzzling tea. But
What about coffee? Because
we don't have coffee. We don't have coffee either.
no, that's a problem.
I mean, we will eventually. Eventually, it'll be delivered. But yeah, no, we don't. I actually, we did get some chai delivered, which is something I rarely drink. But basically, my wife has just been saying like, if there's any kind of anything of any kind, we might take it. So
Get it.
exactly.
It's true.
Yeah. So
That's smart.
she's an incredible provider of stuff. So I'm lucky to have that. But
Yeah, that's great.
but yeah, it's part of the adventure. So all
Yeah.
right, I'm done with my thing. Are you done? Should we go back to
Um,
being people again? Oh, you're still painting color.
yeah,
Okay. In that case, I'll just keep
Yeah, but
I'll keep overworking
I-
mine. That's cool. I just added
I'm almost done.
glasses. I just added glasses, so that was
I'm
good.
almost done. I just want to add a little bit, and of course, then I'm going to mess it up. But that's how it goes. Yesterday, during the my live drawing party on Instagram, that last line that I added just messed the whole perspective up. I was like,
I love it when that
nice
happens.
one.
That's the
Yeah,
best.
but I think it's fine when it happens in a session like that. It's like because people were like, so that happens to you? I'm like, of course it happens to me. We are all drawing and learning.
I thought you were
So
perfect.
and it's all fine, right? If yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, that's nice.
Interesting.
That's nice. All right, let's go back and we can hold up our faces to each other.
Yes.
Okay, here I am. You have to fix your
Hang on.
camera.
Oof.
You can't see me though. There I am.
Oh gosh,
I'm
everything is
actually looking at
falling over
myself.
now.
I actually hadn't looked at
That's
myself to know.
cool.
Well, there you have it. So, let's see yours. That's very nice. Your
And
hair is very
that's
big. It looks like you need a haircut. Oh, those are the poppies
exactly,
behind you.
exactly. I drew it very big because it's getting so long. But yeah, I drew those after your session yesterday.
Chris says you look worried in that self-portrait. Really? What, me worry? Who said that? Alfred E. Newman. I'm not actually worried, although some internal part of me may think I am. You know what I was going
Show
to
it
do
again.
this weekend?
Do you look worried? Maybe because it's
I look kind of,
green.
I look kind of just stunned, I think, more than anything. Uh,
A little bit. Yeah, I think it's the eyebrows are like. Ooh.
yeah, I'll fix it later. I'll give myself a big grin. Um, Thistle says you have an avocado nose. I did actually eat avocados yesterday, so that may be it. Like a guacamole snout. Maybe I'll change my name to Danny Guacamole. Why not? So, okay. Marta says, my daughter just said, maybe, Mama, maybe is better that you draw plants. Everyone's a critic. Everyone's a
Yes.
critic.
Okay. Well,
So, well, that was
I don't
fun.
even know what to say.
So, yes, one thing I was thinking about is I might want to sit down and write a description of everything that's happened over the last month and a half. Like I haven't really written it down. I thought one day I'm going to want to know. It's going to be one of those things where hopefully this will all end and then we'll want to know. But I think, you know, um, it may not. And I might go like, oh, those are really great days. Hopefully not. That's a horrible thing to even say. But yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I want to like record just the events, if nothing else, so that I'll remember it. Because I often, I often think that, uh, journaling is important that way as a record of the actual events and of course how you feel about it. Because it's hard sometimes to remember how you felt about things when they happened. I find that my drawings
Hmm.
are often a good kind of record to some extent of that. But I think if I look back at this guacamole face and I go, "Oh yeah, that's right, I was in quarantine and I was
Exactly.
feeling a little
I was.
green."
Yeah. People are actually keeping Corona diaries. I mean, yeah. And I was just looking at the accordion sketchbook that I started for the daily drawing parties, and it's like such a weird collection of drawings that don't have anything to do with the whole situation, but still, I will forever remember. You know,
It's true. It's
it's
true, and it's all yeah, it's so great. I love that it's an accordion too. But
yeah. I need a new one because we've been doing this for weeks now.
mm,
So I've almost finished it.
yeah,
Yeah,
then what? Do you have a big stack of blank sketchbooks sitting around? I hope.
I actually do. Yes, and it's not too hard to get them here. So. can just order them
Robert
online
Spinola said
and
he gained
will.
2 pounds this week, so he's being productive as well. I think I mentioned this that a friend of mine called it the COVID-19. So Robert, you have 17 to go. So
Well,
yeah,
I keep I don't know if you have that too, but I keep looking in the fridge. If I'm looking for answers, I just open the fridge and then there are no answers.
so there are no answers. There might be an answer. The answer might be guacamole.
Exactly.
So,
That's
anyways,
actually a good answer. Here, can you see that?
there you go. That's nice. It looks like a woodcut almost. That's really nice. Is that an iPad drawing? Must be, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying doing animation on the iPad. I don't know if you saw the little thing that I drew. Show you. I did a social distancing animation too. I can show you.
Hmm.
Well, I did an animation yesterday. I actually was quite pleased with. If you'll hold on a second, I'll see if I can find it here. Um, let me. Can you see it?
I can't. There's a huge delay in the
Oh, is it?
YouTube stream, so I
Oh,
have no
okay.
idea what you're showing.
Here, I'll do it again. Some of you will be able to see it. Yeah, I just drew my backyard with all the birds, and I have birds flying around and noticing each other and stuff like that. So that was kind of fun. So anyway,
Oh, I can see it now. Yeah.
yeah. All right, good. And
Oh, that's cool.
and then, well, I'll share some more in the days ahead.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, I like doing animations on the iPad too.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot of work, and you need to really think about it very well.
Yeah, I was toying
Yeah.
with the idea of doing an animation workshop, a Procreate workshop. I don't know if there's more than like 6 people that are interested in that, but I could do that at some point. Um, because it is, I mean, it's the tools on Procreate to do animation with are pretty primitive, so you have to kind of, as you say, plan it out in advance. But you can, um, I've also figured out like how you can, like what parts you should animate and what parts can stay the same, which makes a big difference. And also, generally, the best thing to do with them is for like animated GIFs that you want to share on social media. So those need to
Yeah.
be, you have to, they ideally should be a loop, so you have to figure out that kind of thing. But it is a fun thing to do.
It
So,
is really fun. It is as fun as as a kid, doing these flip through books.
right.
I actually saw Mike Lowry do an Instagram live on that, or I don't know, it was an Instagram TV thing. So I think you can find it on his channel. It's really fun. He shows you how to do it. Really
It's
cool.
amazing how many artists are sharing and doing stuff, isn't it? It's just so great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Mike is doing, I don't know. I mean, Mike is so hilarious also and so dry. But
So
he's
dry.
but he's a children's book illustrator, so I think a lot of what he does is aimed toward children. But um,
Yeah.
like like I think it was one of the first ones that he did where he said, "I'm now going to draw in my sketchbook. Um, this is people wonder how I do it. This is how I do it." And he just kind of like is looking at the camera and he just
Yeah.
goes, and then he
He does
holds it
that
up.
all the
He
time.
holds it up, and it's like this amazing drawing. It's obviously a joke, but
That's actually exactly how that Instagram TV video started, with him just sitting there like
I know
doing that. So funny.
he is great. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's who else? I mean, Owen Maher's been doing stuff. August Wren has been doing stuff. Um, there's
Wendy
just
McNaughton is doing really
Yeah,
cool stuff too.
Wendy
I
Mc,
mean,
yeah.
she's not in our faculty, but
No,
I mean, I love what she does.
yeah,
And
it's like a whole side of her personality has come out. That's really. joyful and because she's not normally a children's book illustrator, but she's been doing stuff for children really. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's just a lot of stuff out there. Tommy Kane has been doing some great little
so
bits
much
of
stuff.
animation. Did you see the one that he posted today with the glove?
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. I mean, Instagram, it's like that's how I start my day is I just look at Instagram and I see what everybody's doing and it's like it's way better than the New York Times. Sorry guys, Instagram artists.
It really
That's
is.
that's my
It brings
favorite
so much more
my
joy.
favorite news source.
That's interesting. Yeah, you really shift your focus.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, also, yes, Chris brings it says music and reading aloud. That's another thing too. People making music, and it's Wendy McNaughton, MAC.
Naughty.
I'll type it up, but yeah. All right, talk about something else while I quickly write this up.
I'm trying to think if there's other people from sketchbook school who are doing live Instagram things or YouTube, but I'm not sure. Well, of course, Lapin. Well, you talked about him yesterday. He's doing lots of those um, animation, not animations, time lapses of his drawings.
Right.
I think it's really, really cool to see what he's doing. And I also follow his wife, and she's also drawing a lot, which is really fun. So she's also drawing plants.
Hmm.
Um,
Prashant is doing
and
stuff, as he
yes,
always does.
Prashant's always on Instagram stories doing stuff,
Right.
sharing where he is, and it's very meditative what he shares. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so lots of great people. We'll have to think of some more. Maybe we can put out an official list of things. Um,
Yeah,
also,
be nice.
I'm going to be doing something new. I think it's going to start next week, where I'm going to be doing a sort of a newsletter. I think, I think that for people who followed my blog, I haven't been doing the blog for a while, but I have been writing stuff, and there's other things that I want to share. So I think next week we might have it set up, and if you're interested, you can sign up for that, and so you can get regular blathering from me in your email. And it's going to be sketchbook school related, but I think it's also going to be more just my stuff that I write. So yeah, that'll be that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, Inma Serrano. I think I mean, she always does stuff on Instagram. Swarovski is
Yeah,
doing
she's
things. Yeah,
Swarovski too. Yeah, they're all documenting their days inside. Yeah,
right,
it's
right.
true.
So, all right. Well, this has been really nice.
Oh, and there's
Oh,
one. Oh, I just want to share that.
yeah.
There's this. I think she's a friend of Inma. Actually, her name is Maru Godas. Marugodas. She's creating like really big sketchbook pages full of gouache paintings. It's amazing.
That sounds great.
So that's just another tip.
That sounds good. And Stephanie says that France and Van Stone is doing a free class every Saturday. I didn't even know that. So yes, that's
Sketchy, yeah.
oh, and Sketchy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She and also, I mean, Vin Ganapathy is like drawing like a maniac all the time. So he's posting like every hour it seems new amazing
So
things.
nothing changed.
Nothing's changed. No, no, Vin is strangely he's drawing people. So there you have it. Felix, I talked to Felix this week, and that
He
was
made a
interesting.
cookbook.
He did really a cookbook, really?
He made a cookbook that is like has like the pages are three parts, so you can actually flip. I can't explain.
So you can like combine like onion, chicken,
Yes,
and
exactly
oregano, and
that.
then you can flip it around.
Yes,
That
exactly.
sounds like a
It's
risky. That doesn't sound like
very
a sketchbook.
interesting.
That doesn't sound like a cookbook. It sounds more like Russian roulette.
No, but it's filled with his crazy illustrations, and I think it looks really fun. I've only seen pictures of it, but yeah.
Well, you guys, if you're interested, we have a page on sketchbookschool.com called the Corona. creativity guide. And I think the URL is going to be, right now the URL is something like coronavirus dash creativity dash guide, but I think it's going to be guide soon. We're changing it, but
Just
it's just go to our
Google
website. Just go to
sketchbook
our, yeah,
school.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if you go to our
Corona.
website, it's there. And what that is we're sharing all kinds of stuff there that we find. So a lot of the things we just talked about, we're going to be sharing there. There's you can also get our 100 free drawing tips, and there's just an embarrassment of riches there. So check that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you've never been to sketchbookskool.com, here's your excuse. You can go and for absolutely $0, €0, zero yuan, you can get all kinds of cool stuff from us. So go and check that out.
And
All
while
right,
you're at it, you can also just enroll into the workshop because that is happening in 2 weeks and it will
that's
be
right.
really fun.
It's true.
Sketchbook filler.
Now you've shortened it. Kosha's
I
killer
know.
sketchbook filler. Yeah, some people say
I know.
killer.
I
Is
was
that
like,
really appropriate
just
saying
throw it in
killer?
quickly.
Is that appropriate to say killer in this day and age? I don't know. It's an idea that
Yeah.
we hoped would go viral, but maybe not. Maybe that's not appropriate either. Anyway, the class will be much more appropriate than I am. I think you'll really enjoy it, and you have uh, just a little bit of time to sign up. So get going, people.
It'll be super.
Yeah, and you have something to look forward to. And thank you. So thanks
And
very
this
much.
was fun too. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. It was fun. Have a great day, Kosha, or what's left of it. It's almost evening there.
Thank you. You cut out again, but I think you said have a nice day. You too.
I
Have a
said
great
have a
day.
nice. I said have a nice evening, actually, but yes, have a nice
Oh,
rest.
thank you.
Have a nice weekend, and we all
You
will see
too.
you on Instagram on Monday. Monday at
Yes. 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central European Time, and then there's other times too in the rest of the world. Right at the end, you are cutting out again.